competed right through the 80s and reached the level of Mr. Universe. I retired in bodybuilding, and that was like 35 years ago. Yet it was like such a big part of my life. And then since COVID, my daughter started working out. She wants to do a bikini model competition, and then we're both on stage at the same time. I thought that would be just so cool to do. So, you know, at times I thought, you know, when I'm in my 60s in the masters division in bodybuilding, maybe it'd be fun to do a show. My age is definitely going to be working against me. I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to do this stuff.
Here's what this video is all about today. The first thing we're going to do is plan the shoot, then we're going to shoot, then we're going to bring back and ingest all that information. We're going to choose our favorites, and then we're going to wrap up by going through all the information and seeing, was this a good interview or not good interview. But let's start from the beginning. This first long-form documentary is about Emery Dora. Now, I've been friends with Emery for probably since 1980, so that's like 45 years. He was the owner and creator of Diamond Gym back in 1980. I was a member. I was actually the second member there. And we chatted, we trained. He trained a lot more than me, and he actually went to compete, as you're going to see. He competed worldwide, like he was phenomenal. So we lost touch back and forth. We see each other here and there around the area where we live. And about 10 years ago, I asked him if he wanted to do a documentary, if I could do a short documentary on his story, being a former bodybuilding champion and all the personal stuff that's gone away. He said yes. Great, fantastic. I called him, left a message, Here's one thing. If someone doesn't want to be interviewed, you know what? Move on, go somewhere else. So he's a nice guy. We were friends, and he wasn't returning my calls. So you know what I decided to do? Let it go. Just forget it, let it go. There's other things to do. I don't want to hassle him. He's gone through some personal grief. I didn't want to bother him and make him feel bad. So let that go. A couple of years ago, I sent him a text, and I said, hey, Em, how about a Diamond Gym reunion? That's got all that. We had this core group. It was really amazing. A core group of people in 1980 that trained together. It was a small gym. There weren't few members, maybe 15, 20 members for the first little while. And we all got to know each other really well. So I said, hey, why don't we do a reunion? And he said, oh, it's not a bad idea. Let's think about it. I said, oh, okay. I didn't want to push him. I was at a party just after Christmas this year. I got a message on Messenger. He says, hey, I've got this idea. Are you interested in filming it? Are you interested in filming my journey? I went, whoa. Are you kidding me? This is what I live for. As a documentary filmmaker, I want to go behind the scenes and get the story so that I could bring what's behind the scenes in the front so that other people could see what I'm seeing. I mean, that's what a documentary filmmaker is about. That's what I love doing. Finding out about someone's story, getting into the details, presenting it into someone so we could share his story. He's got a fantastic story. It's really touching. So after 10 years, here we go. So this is the part where I have to plan. So number one, we need to plan this visit. So one of my purposes for this meeting is this documentary going to go somewhere? Is this worth my time? It's a lot of time. As you follow me during the next few episodes, you'll see how much time it takes, how much planning and preparation. Here I am getting ready to go over to Emery's house for the first time. Haven't seen him in, I don't know, let's say 14 years. I think 14 years. Something happened in his life 14 years ago, and we ran into each other. I won't talk about it, but it's going to come up. So what do I need? What do I want to do? I want to get there. I want a small camera. I'm not going to bring a big camera, tripod, headlights. So I decided I'm going to go with my brand new little ZV, my ZV-E10. Very small, a little, what I call Casey Neistat tripod. I'm going to put this in front of us. I'm going to go. It's really not big. This is the camera I chose. It's not going to be obtrusive. I'll be able to see myself. It will go. The sound is good enough. I'm not making a Hollywood movie here. I just want to hear what he's going to say. So this is the camera choice. This is the microphone. So the second is, how am I going to shoot? Well, I don't know. I've never been to this house. I don't know. What is the lighting going to be? I know it's a house. He's been living in the same place for a number of years. So I hope that we're going to sit down in a place that he's comfortable, his comfortable place, and set up the camera. And then we're going to shoot. So this is going to be simple and straightforward. I just want to hear what he has to say, talk to him about the project. The third thing we need to do is take this information and put it on our computer. For this project, I'm using Final Cut Pro. Or I should say Final Cut used to be Pro. Now it's just Final Cut. I guess it's Final Cut Amateur or Pro. I don't know. So we take it, import it, put it on one line, then you have to go through it and indexing. To me, this is the hardest part of documentary filmmaking. You got to go through everything. So because this project is going to be filmed from now until there's a competition, I'll talk to you about that later, competition August 10th. So I'm going to be filming week by week until August 10th. There's going to be a ton of stuff, hours and hours and hours. So what I need to do is every time I film, I need to ingest, index, and choose my favorites. So favorites or selects, depending on what, if you're using Premiere or Adobe. And now what did he say in there? So you go through it, you have to listen carefully. So when you're going through it, you're going, okay, what is important? What is important? What's going to be important 6 months? What can be important? What's not important? You know, there's a lot of chit-chatting between Emery and I. We haven't seen each other in a number of years. That's not part of the documentary. The documentary is his story, his journey. It has nothing to do with me. I'm just the cameraman following the journey. Then I review it. So here are some of the scenes I have. The journey. The journey of let's say there's two main trains here. There's the party train, Diamond Jim party train, which
right.
and then the competition.
Right.
And I'll follow that.
Yeah.
And the whole thing as your preparation for the party, your preparation for the
event of the competition.
Yeah.
Capture some of that too. You know
what it takes.
Intensity.
Yeah.
Because that's what it takes. Yeah.
Okay.
And even at this age, even at 62, maybe 63, you gotta have the intensity, and that's what keeps you young. You know.
It'd be definitely your daughters, your past, and the people we're going to run into.
Right. Exactly.
And because you're going to be talking to a lot of people.
Right.
In contact, forcing you to do that. The people you haven't spoken to.
Right. I've already started.
I asked you actually 10 years ago if you're interested in doing something.
Right.
And I can't believe I actually did that 10 years ago.
I can't believe it was 10 years ago either. I thought it was like maybe 4 or 5.
I said, you thought of making this project because of something I said about Diamond Jim.
Right.
Okay.
Right. That's where it started. You had mentioned let's kind of do an alumni kind of one of these. Been many years now, right? I think Diamond Jim was when we sold it was 1985. We had an 85, which is kind of funny because we talk about time. And we only really were there for 5 years, yet it was like such a big part of my life. It still carries on to today.
Yeah.
Like, my whole life was based on those 5 years.
Yes.
I think 2 years ago, or just before COVID, that we should do a get together or a party with all the Diamond Jim alumni. And I said that would be a great idea. So now that everything's turned the page, I think this year could be a great year to do that. It's also kind of lead on to, I competed right through the 80s and reached the level of Mr. Universe. And that was kind of my minimum goal I wanted to attain going into bodybuilding. So I said, I have to at least compete in the Mr. Universe, and whatever happens after that, great. If I can go further, I will. But circumstance had it after that, I retired in bodybuilding, and that was like 35 years ago. And, at times I thought, when I'm in my 60s in the Masters division in bodybuilding, it'd be fun to do a show. But then thinking about it and how much effort it takes, I said, nah, I can't. And then since COVID, my daughter started working out at home and really took to it, which is like 3 years ago now almost. And her shape's coming in. And now she's studying to be a lawyer. She's doing law in Ottawa. And she's still working out, which is pretty hard to do. The law program I'm telling you, it's hard. My older daughter did it too, and she's a lawyer now too. But It's a rough program. That's why not everybody's a lawyer. So she's able to still sustain her workouts through this, eating, training, and everything. So we figured she wants to do a bikini model competition, and she's not kind of an out there kind of person, but whatever's driving her, genetics or whatever, she wants to do that. And I said, wouldn't it be cool if I go back after 35 years of not competing and do a natural show masters competition, and then we're both on stage at the same time. I thought that would be just so cool to do. It's the thing that I'm going to do this. I'm going to put my mind to it. I think there's like 9 months till the show in September, and I'm going to make this happen. 2 years ago, we did the Family Feud, which was kind of a lot of fun. And there too, kind of like standing on the stage reminded me actually of bodybuilding, and with the lights on and everything. So I was kind of somewhat comfortable, and I kind of just go, this is kind of fun, you know? This is kind of like bringing me back to the feeling I had when
you looked really comfortable.
Yeah.
You looked like you were just out there.
And I thought I would be nervous, but I wasn't. I was just like, yeah, I like this.
Yeah.
You get into exercise, the first month is just like don't even know what you're doing. Maybe the third month, you're starting to feel a bit of results and feeling like, but see, in our case, we've been doing this so long that you miss the training, but you really realize how much you miss it is when you stop or have to stop doing it. Then it's like, you have to get back to it, how important it is in your life and how it makes you feel and how strong it makes you feel. It's like, I can't believe not every single person out there is doing something. You have to. And especially as you get older. When you're young, you can still do stuff and get away with a bit, but that's where you start to build the foundation, like we did. But when you're older, you can't stop. And it's almost too late to start up when you're really old. You can, but it's really hard. You just can't. I think, like you said, it's kind of the journey, and the journey begins now. I think there's a lot of aspects to this. Obviously, nutrition, training, and all these things are key, right? My age is definitely going to be working against me, and my training. You know what I find? I had a great last 6 weeks of training, but man, it's really hard to stay on like when we were young, to do that kind of 3 days on, 1 day out, consistently, regularly, and actually in that time to allow yourself to recover and to push hard and to work and take care of the family, take care of the house. All these things still fall into the. It's not, when we were kids, we didn't have all that. I think the background of what we want to do and where we're going and which direction, and maybe a bit of the past leading to the present. Also, the workouts are a big factor. I don't know if everyone go to even Toronto and catch a bit of my daughter's workouts there. Ottawa, sorry, not Toronto. Ottawa, maybe some of her school. I don't know if that's interesting or not.
Absolutely.
My late wife's father, he still works out all the time. He skis, he does everything. He's going to be 93 this year. And he's the same as when I met him like 30 whatever years ago, when he was in his 50s, or 40 years ago. So I taught that to my daughters very early in age. And I taught that through through gymnastics, through soccer, through everything that they did. And they always did really well. They played AAA soccer. You're going to do something, you do it to your best ability and then some. You don't do it below your ability. You put everything into what you choose to do, and then you have to follow through, and you have to do it at your best. It proved to be, like I said, they played AAA. One's a lawyer, one's about to become a lawyer. And they amaze me because whatever was instilled in them still follows through in their, at their adult age. And that's what it is. It's when you're young, you have to just develop this. I know what to do, but I don't know if my body's going to react the way I want it to at this age. This is new to me too. That's what I'm saying. It's like starting over. At my age, I knew what to do. I'm 62 years old. I don't know. I have no clue how much. I know how much recovery I need, but I don't know. It's funny because I talked to a lot of these older guys that competed. I'm on TRT, testosterone replacement therapy or whatever. Well, that's testosterone. You're taking testosterone. That's not fair. I could use some. 7 degrees of separation, right? I remember us from the gym when we were having our first baby. We were there preparing and going to that course and this and that. And it's just you just kind of walk parallel lives, in some ways. You're just always there in the shadows of. Her boyfriend and my late wife's boyfriend, when they were 17, were best friends. So my late wife, Heather, knew Linda from back then because the boyfriends were best friends. So that's what I mean, 7 degrees of separation. We're all connected. We're those traveling souls together. And I remember checking her out when I was 16. I didn't know Linda, and she was working at Dapper Dan's, going up the ladder and down the ladder. We used to actually judge bodybuilding competitions together years ago, the two of us. I have pictures of that. And so, yeah, and then, so she told me, you have to remember, like I told you, I was 30 years as a personal trainer now and 45 years in the industry. So I've put my dues in, and it's not over yet. Having lost my wife 14 years ago, and you had met her back then when we were doing the course, and then, taking over the job of 2 by myself when one daughter was 8, the other one was 13 when she passed, and then them becoming lawyers. I've seen so many cases where this happens, and the kids just get lost, and they turn to drugs, they turn to another life. We kept on track, man. We did not veer, and we're still on track. And then just leading to this, and my daughter getting into the same thing I had a passion for and loving, with weight training and stuff like that. And her saying, I want to do a bikini model competition, while studying for law, and just moving forward and everything. I just think that, it's just a bit outside the box. I'm proud of them. I think it's, I think it could have went for anywhere. I'm happy that my effort to my family stayed true and enabled them and cleared the path for them to be able to do what they've done,
Your mother's got
immigrating from Hungary, right? He was a professional soccer player, boxer back in Hungary, coming here, not speaking the language, starting from scratch, right? Playing a bit of soccer, working in a bar, and then working in this field of engineering, building a gym.
Didn't buy a gym,
built it from scratch.
There's 4 poles.
Yeah, an empty room.
You're welding.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, building the actual inside of the gym as well as the equipment for the gym. Who does that?
Yeah, no,
we did that.
It's amazing. We
went to Goals in California. We'd be measuring the equipment out, to try to see where do we start at Jimmy Crusoe's gym downtown, and got the tape measure out and measuring up the stuff to go and build it. We taught ourselves to weld. We got a place. So we started. Okay, let's weld. We had one guy come in and teach us one lesson. Okay, this is how it's done. We welded. We bought a little machine to cut the metal. We were all tight, man. We had some great people there too. All these athletes like Billy Wet Shoes Johnson, who played for Houston Oilers, who played for the Alouettes after. We had King Tonga, the wrestler, Roy Callender, Mike Krushelnyski, who played hockey with Gretzky in Edmonton. Ernie Schermeyer, who played for Hamilton.
The left tackle who went to Seattle.
Yeah, Bill Hitchcock.
Bill
Hitchcock. Ian Beckles played for Tampa.
Yeah.
Bill played for Seattle. Tony Lawson got a Grey Cup ring in Toronto. These were our people, man, and we were all brothers. We were the only gym in the West Island at the time, us and McTanny's.
Yeah,
it was revolutionary. There was nothing out there. Now it's like a gym on every corner. I remember going there too, and that building we went into, 61D Brunswick Boulevard, was deemed commercial. So the city did not want to allow us to open up a gym in there because that's not commercial. So we had to fight tooth and nail to get that spot.
Jeez.
And then so the way we were able to get around it was that we were manufacturing equipment too. So we had kind of manufacturers say, well, this is our showcase, our showroom for our manufacturing. It's not commercial, sorry, industrial, I meant.
Okay.
It was deemed industrial. So they wouldn't let a commercial business in there because it's an industrial park. So that's when we had to come up with, well, we're going to manufacture, and the showroom is in the front as a gym.
So let's review this meeting. What happened during this meeting? The purpose of this meeting was in order to find out how serious is he, how committed is he. I found out a lot about him. It was nice to rekindling the friendship, but again, that's beside the point. However, having said that, so what he wants is his daughter, Cassie, to compete in the bikini model. I'd never heard of that, but I'm looking forward to seeing that. So the idea is to follow the journey as they train together from today until the competition August 10th. Now, let's hope that works out. I hope they compete, and I hope they win. I hope everything goes well, but I'm just the observer. I'm just the cameraman. I just got to follow the whole thing and not be part of it. That's what I want to do. So I'm tickled pink, man. I think this is going to be a great project. I like him. Emery's a real nice guy, super honest, got a great heart. So I'm really happy. This has been a great meeting. We're ready to go. I've digested everything, and what I want to do next is plan the next meeting within a week or two. I don't want to be in his face. I want to go back and we start going through the steps of actually planning the Diamond Gym reunion and the competition. Those are the 2 trains. So the idea in my head, what I have at this time, is there's Emery from today till August 10th. Okay. Now we're going to follow the creation and the Diamond Union Party. Let's hope it happens. And the training that these two have, that Cassie and Emery have, right until the competition. That's the story. Now in that story, the trains are Emery's past, his family's past, his daughter's past, and Emery's father, where they came from. Those are all things I could add on to the timeline. So there's a lot of things here. It's not just the competition. The possible themes are family, father-daughter reunion, age. Emery's 63, 62, 63. Age is against him. It's going to be really hard. So how could age affect a competition when you haven't competed in 35 years? So those are good. Two good areas to work on. Thank you so much for following me and liking me. I'm assuming you already have. If you haven't, please do that, because it means everything to this channel for you to like and subscribe and comment. So do you have any questions? Is this clear? Is it clear what a documentary filmmaker does? This is a step. It's not glorious. Most of the time it's spent behind me, just editing and trying to figure out what's not going to be in the story. Now, I don't even know the story yet. I'm going to follow it. I have an idea. This is the train that I'm going to follow, but I have no idea where it's going to go. What's going to happen? Maybe something happens. A lot of things could happen, knock on wood. I hope they're all good. I hope everything goes. But I'm going to be an observer and follow everything. So thank you very much. Have a good day, and we'll see you on the next episode.